You can show me yours, and if you want, now we can put yours up onto the screen. Now, I'm looking at this as the same time as the viewers, and I'll quickly go through it. So, absolutely making the major from you guys.
Yep.
You've got M80 and you've got Sonics. Probably making the major is Space Station, might make the major, Dark Zero, Oxygen. We'll start with that first couple of brackets first. And again, in terms of the way we've looked at this, it is also somewhat based on how many slots you've got. So for NAL, they got the 4 slots.
Yep.
So you've kind of got, 2, 4, 5 teams that you think are in contention. From Luminosity down, you're basically saying no chance.
Yeah, I think I've pretty much based these rankings on a couple of things. M80, obviously, very strong squad, good stage 1. I don't think they're going to have too many blemishes and issues in stage 2. Sonic's obviously a little bit of a wild card considering their route to the major in stage 1 was a little bit convoluted, but I think they showed enough promise and I think they've got a good enough backing to make it through quite comfortably. Obviously, the next 3, SSG, DZ, and OXG, a bit of a different storyline, but I don't see any of the bottom 3 making it through.
Now over to my predictions, laying it all out onto the table and onto the screen. Some slight differences straight away. Now we've both got Sonics in our absolutely making the major tier, but I've gone with Space Station instead, joining them. Dark Zero is slightly above, and I've got M80 in the same category as Oxygen. Now my belief here, again, it's based on the fact that there's the 4 slots. I'm looking at it as I think SSG, Sonics, and Dark Zero should take 3 out of those. It's down to either M80 or Oxygen.
I mean, I think M80 are the best team in NAL at the moment. You've ranked them 4th, if I'm going off this graphic correctly. So that's obviously a big difference. Keen to hear what other people think. Obviously, it's not our specialty region, but I just think that M80, they showed enough through the regional stage 1 to be, very confidently making this major.
Now, I should add, between the 2 of M80 and Oxygen, I've got M80 the more favored between the 2, and sort of my reasoning behind all of this is Dark Zero and SSG, you look back to stage 1, topped their respective groups, looked really solid. Sonics, what they were able to do at the major itself as well when they got there. So based on the recency of that, I'm basically going with that. And obviously for M80, they've had some really good results recently. I think they beat G2, W7M. I think that was at Gamers 8.
Yep.
So obviously I do rate them. In terms of Oxygen and why I think they've still got somewhat of a chance, it's still a good roster with some history. Obviously played at Charlotte, Berlin. Stage 1 was not too bad either. Evidently, it will be a tough ask. They probably go into this as a bit more of the dark horse. In terms of the bottom 3, though, we both basically got Beast Coast, Luminosity, and Wildcard. I do have Beast Coast as more of the very dark horse between the 3 of them, if maybe, rather than outright no. So that's the way we've kind of rated NAL. I don't think that, again, we can probably deep dive too much into it. They haven't started for stage 2. We haven't been able to see much of them. We don't, follow the scrims and sort of how they're going. It's really just based on stage 1 and Copenhagen. And basically, I've got to say, I think we were pretty close. The only difference being M80.
Yeah, M80, obviously. Big difference.